Hi, we're in the book of Revelations of St. John the Divine, chapter 14, verses 13 through 20. This is part 2. And the last word on there will be furlong. So if I say the other word, that's what it is. Let's read verse 13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat unto, I'll read again. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. That was chapter 14, verse 14. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle, and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the cluster of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. The last verse, which is verse 20 of chapter 14 of St. John the Divine, and it reads, And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. That's the last verse of chapter 14, which is verse 20. Let's address verse 13 of the 14th chapter of the book of Revelation. John said this. He said, I heard, that's John, a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write. That's what the voice from heaven said. From heaven, not from anywhere. Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. So you're blessed if you die in the Lord. Yeah, said the Spirit, capitalized Spirit, that they may rest from their labors. When you rest, you're in succession, you're chilling. And their works do follow them. It's going to follow you. In verse 14, chapter 14, John said this, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud. And upon the cloud one sat. Now, when he said like, it's comparison to, like unto the Son of Man, capitalize the S, of man, Son of Man. Well, remember in the book of King James Version, the capitalized is always an important thing, even in the English language, when you see something capitalized like that. The Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown. We're talking about Jesus Christ. That's what he said it was like. And in his hand, a sharp sickle. That's verse 14, chapter 14. You know the sickle is the one that reaped the grapes, cut sharply, and then harvest, reap up the grapes, gather up the grapes. In verse 15, and another angel came out of the temple. So that was the angel came out of the temple before that too, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in your sickle. King James say, thrust in thy sickle, and reap, for the time is come for thee, for you, in standard regular English, to reap together. For the harvest of the earth is ripe. And that's what farmers do. Once it's ready, they'll go get it. They'll go start cutting up and gathering up, literally speaking. But this case is talking about judgment of the people that took on the worship the beast and the likeness of likeness, how we say likeness, but it's image of the beast, and took on the mark. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped gathered. And another angel came out of the temple which is in, this is verse 17 here, in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. So verse 18 I'm reading now. And another angel came out from the altar. You know, that's always a place of sacrifice. Which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, thrust in your sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth. These folks, when you do stuff for the devil, is a big pay back for that. You're going to pay dearly. The people in the future are going to pay dearly, forever and ever, day and night. So we still on verse 18. For her grapes are fully ripe, matured. Nothing else you can do. People done they're already ready to go, because there's no saving them now. Verse 19, and the angels thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it through it into the great metis, the Greek call it, big, large, wine press, a vat, V-A-T, it's like a tank. In the olden days, or in the days when people do the wine press and they put it in a tank, and they either trumpet it with their feet or with a machine, of the wrath of God. So now when I looked up the wrath in one part of it before it said indignation, I was having a hard time finding when it was under the Greek term dumos. Dumos. Is it dumos? Yeah, dumos. It was hard to find it. So God, when I looked at the other one, indignation, it goes back to say anger, which is orgy, which is great anger, out of control. He's out of control with his anger. He's not mixing with nothing else. He's not mixing with grace. It's not going to be mixed. He's going to do his thing, and it's going to be um, unbelievable wrath of the Lord. Let's go to verse 20. And it says this: And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood, not grapes, not juice, not literally speaking juice. So we know we're not talking about uh, literally talking about grapes. We're talking about folks going to be in bad shape. And blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridle. Well, you ever seen a horse with straps? Up to that point where the bridles are. By the space of 1,600 furlongs. So when we look at furlong, one furlong in a mile is 0.125 in a mile. So if you're talking about 1,000, you have to convert. So I just converted that just now. That's a conversion that we do. Like in the health field, you do a lot of conversions from pounds to kilos and all of that. So I just converted that. That was easy for me to do. So it's easy for me to figure out how much is in miles or yards. So in miles is 200 miles, about 200 miles. So you can imagine how gross that would look with blood. So I know sometimes the book of Revelation scare people, but you need to have that. You need to have that, because I always talk about chapter 1, verses 3 more than anything. Blessed is he that readeth or reads, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, in it. For the time is at hand. So God bless you, and continue with me, stick with me to chapter 15, chapter 16, chapter 17, chapter 18, chapter 20, and to the last chapters. God bless you. Love you.